Moana 2 has finally fulfilled its destiny. Moana 2 has finally fulfilled its destiny in Disney's mind with its new release. The 2024 animated Disney movie is the long-awaited sequel to 2016's massive box office and cultural hit. The Walt Disney Animation sequel debuted in theaters in late November, where it was met with mixed reception from critics. Audiences were much more favorable to it, resulting in Moana 2's box office climbing higher than anticipated and finishing with a worldwide gross of over $1 billion. After a wildly successful theatrical run, Moana 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus for the first time. Ever since Disney launched its streaming service in 2019, it has become customary for the studio's new releases to come to Disney Plus a few months after they premiere in theaters. The studio can wait out the gap between new major movie releases on the platform by making original movies and shows intended to be seen only on streaming. Now that Moana 2 is on streaming, Disney has a title that should be a popular viewing choice for subscribers for years on end. The release is even more notable considering Disney's original intention for the film. Moana 2 is finally streaming on Disney Plus, just as Disney originally intended. Moana 2's Disney Plus release is destiny fulfilled, as the movie was initially meant to be a streaming-exclusive TV show. Surprisingly, Disney did not start developing a Moana sequel after the 2016 release. It wasn't until December 2020 that the studio announced that Moana's story would continue, albeit with a Disney Plus exclusive TV series. Moana, the series, as it was originally called, was meant to last for 5 episodes and was intended for a 2023 release. That all changed in February 2024, when Disney announced the show had been reworked into Moana 2 and was coming out 9 months later. That radical change to the development of Moana, the series led Disney to release Moana 2 in theaters. Roughly 14 months after that announcement, the film is finally streaming on Disney Plus. In this way, Moana 2 has fulfilled its destiny. The story made for Moana, the series can now be fully seen on the streaming service in the form of Moana 2. It might not be a TV show anymore or contain everything that would have been seen in a series, but the core story remains. Now, Disney can revel in the glory of Moana 2's streaming release. Disney's decision to change Moana 2 into a movie paid off. If there was any doubt that Disney was making the right decision to transition Moana 2 from a TV show to a movie, the sequel's box office results end them. Box office projections were always kind to the film, with it expected to make over $100 million during the 5-day Thanksgiving weekend. Those projections nearly doubled after the film's first day of release, as it had a record $57.8 million start. Projections then called for a $200 million 5-day opening. Moana 2's opening weekend box office broke several records as it beat even the adjusted projections. The film opened to $139.8 million over the traditional 3-day weekend, while the 5-day weekend gross was $225 million. It broke records for the highest Thanksgiving Day gross, the biggest opening weekend for a Walt Disney Animation film, and the biggest Thanksgiving weekend release. Moana 2 even beat the Super Mario Bros. Movie's record worldwide opening for an animated movie by making $389 million globally during the first 5 days. From that point on, Moana 2 continued to perform incredibly well in theaters. It became a $1 billion earner in less than 2 months. The film's final box office total is $1.05 billion. It was the third highest grossing movie of 2024 worldwide, and the 4th biggest domestically. All in all, Moana 2 was a gigantic financial success, with a reported $150 million budget. Moana 2 was always a better box office bet than a streaming play. The final results of Moana 2 prove that the property was always a better bet at the box office. The first movie made over $680 million at the box office. Disney also has a strong history of turning sequels into even bigger success stories. That should have made Moana 2 a no-brainer play for a theatrical release. Instead, Disney almost missed a billion-dollar film due to their push to increase original content on Disney+. The studio was also already working on the live-action Moana, signaling a desire to have the franchise's movie future be there and not in animation.